What's up, people? It's your boy Slide. In this video, I'm going to talk about the way people think. I have noticed that many people in this society hate each other. I think many Americans hate each other. And I'm not saying this because of my own situation. I'm saying this because I see the way people communicate with each other these days. And keep in mind, I'm not the first person to bring up this topic. But I have noticed that a lot of people here do not really like each other. There's always some kind of envy or some kind of like a jealousy. And it's one of those things where you start questioning a lot of things, like, why are people so bitter? Why are people so envious? You know? It's been getting to the point where you ask yourself, what's the point of trying to be positive when everyone else is negative? Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. If you surround yourself with people who don't have high ambition, there's a high possibility it's going to affect your mindset. That's why they say, hang out with like-minded people. If you're trying to do great things in your life, you are advised to only socialize with people who have the same mindset. People hang out with people who don't have their best interest. Before you know it, they end up being useless. There's so many people today who think about having a decent life, and yet the people that they associate themselves with don't have the same mindset. So they end up discouraging them from achieving their goals. And this happens all the time. Okay? When I go to like some customer service spots, I can tell you that a lot of people just hate being there. And they show it through their work. They show it. And a lot of people don't get it. I have worked low-end jobs. I've been around people who work low-end jobs, and most of them are negative. They're negative because many of them hate their lives. If you hate your job, most likely you're going to hate your life in most cases. So it's hard to be positive, you know? Some people are looking for a better way to live a decent quality of life. And if you don't like your situation, you're going to have to make sacrifices for a better life. It could be free time. It can be working a job you don't like. But you have to do things that will get you to where you want to go. There have been many cases where I wanted to just say, fuck it, I'm done. I can't do it. I'll never make it, right? Then something tells me and said, something in my mind tells me to keep going. Because if you work hard enough, things may turn around. And I've seen many people who are living horrible lives, right? They were living horrible lives. Then they worked towards a particular goal, and now they're living the decent life. You have to do what is best for you. A lot of people don't understand it. Some people out there say to themselves that they will never be successful. Then they walk around pissed off at the world every day. You will be surprised how many people will become annoyed just because you had a nice weekend. Just because you did something nice on your free time, people will just give you evil looks. Many coworkers I've seen are bitter. Why? Because most of them don't like the job, and a lot of them are making a lot of them are not making that much money, and yet they have to use their money for child support. So you make less than $3,000 a month, and yet you're paying child support. Why wouldn't somebody become annoyed? I have noticed that many Americans just hate each other. You know, the hatred I've seen is so ridiculous. And I've been thinking about how I can live a better life. It's hard to stay positive when you live around negative people. At my current job I'm at right now, I don't talk to anybody anymore. Because honestly, it's not that I can't stand them, I just don't really care about them like that. I just don't care. Because most of them don't think like me or reason like me. So I don't really talk to them. I may say, hey, what's up, how's it going? And that's it. But no more like having conversations about the future. Nope. That ain't happening no more. No more talking about how the work culture is. Nope. Not interested anymore. I'm going to do what's best for me and live a decent life. If people want to be miserable, be miserable. I'm not trying to be miserable. I'm not trying to figure out why things are the way they are anymore. This year is almost over. It seems like yesterday it was January and it's already September. There are some people today who said they were going to achieve their goals, and they kept saying tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. And guess what? 9 months have passed. Based on what I have seen, people here do not, it's not that people don't want you to make it. No, sorry, better words. It's not that people don't care if you make it or not. It's just that some people don't want you to make it. They really don't. They don't want you to make it. Some people woke up in their late 30s. They woke up and said, this life is not for me. Guess what they did? They looked for careers that were in demand, and they worked towards their goals, and now they live a better life. They now live a better life. People don't get what I'm talking about. People now live a better life. Because if you don't like your job, why would you stay there? Let me give a better explanation on that. If you didn't like your job, in the last 2 years. Why would you stay there for the next 5 years? That's backwards thinking, isn't it? How can you hate your job and be there for more than 8 years? Makes no sense to me. Because if you realize you hate your job after your second year, guess what? You would be looking for a better career that you like. Only 30% of Americans are doing jobs they love. 30%. 70% of Americans hate their jobs. So how can you go to a job you do not like for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and be happy? Makes no sense at all. So if you don't like what you're doing, you got to change it. But a lot of people don't get it. And I don't know if you guys know this, but many people who lose their job have a harder time finding another one. When you get older, the older you get, the harder it is to find jobs because companies usually hire younger workers. This is not a secret. Okay? If you're in healthcare and you lose your job, there's a high possibility you can find another one easily because most hospitals need employees. But if you're in corporate America and you lose your job, high possibility you may not get another one. But people don't get it. People think, oh, I'll worry about it tomorrow. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. But the misery I've seen in people's eyes is just crazy. Based on people's facial expressions, you can tell they don't want to be there. When you go to like these restaurants, sometimes you can see it. People who work at these retail jobs, you can see in their faces they don't want to be there. Most people who work in a warehouse do not want to be at a warehouse. I've worked at a warehouse before. I'm telling you, that's one of the worst jobs you can ever have. It doesn't matter how much money they pay. It does not matter. Warehouses are fast-paced, and it's awful. And now you have many Americans today who just negative. When they see people moving on up to a decent life, they get evil looks because a lot of these people you see today hate their lives, they hate their jobs. So when they see someone else doing something that makes them happy, oh no, they will start to like throw shade. People don't understand why I am very careful about who I associate with nowadays. Don't be one of those people where you have people trying to discourage you from achieving your goals. And you'd be surprised how many negative people are there. Americans today, this society is so toxic. And there's other people, on YouTube and other places have made videos about this. About how Americans are just envious of each other. They're just negative all the time. And people don't get it. People really don't get it. They just think it's a joke, or because they can't see it, they think, oh, it's not true. I'm saying it now that it's more than true, I'm trying to live a decent life. I'm trying to be happy. So if people don't understand, that's on them. So anyhow, let me know what you think. Peace.